HyunA used to be one of the most loved idols in the industry, but this all changed after she revealed her newest relationship. But why was this enough for the public to change their opinion of her and pretty much boycott everything she's doing? Being in the industry ever since she was a teenager, HyunA has had time and space to build a legacy in the K-pop industry. She started by debuting in Wonder Girls, then in 4 Minute, and finally started her career as a soloist under Cube Entertainment. It was then that she started building her image of a confident woman who didn't care about what others thought of her and who fully embraced her body and who she was. She did things that other female K-pop idols barely did. She would do controversial and shocking concepts and choreographies. She was bold and didn't let the hate comments get to her. Because of this, she has been dealing with all kinds of shaming, misogynistic comments and terms, and even harassment. This turned her into some kind of a feminist icon in the eyes of her international fans, as after all, she had been exploited and shoved into the spotlight ever since she was a child. She had embraced all of this and had empowered herself through her concepts, which in turn had empowered other women. Not only that, but it seemed like she wanted to protect the younger idols as well, since she didn't want them to go through the same things she did. But in hindsight, HyunA has never said that she's a feminist or actually done any activism when it came to women's rights. As a commenter put it best, it's true that women looked up to her, appreciated her art, attitude, style, bold decisions in life, and her friendships with other women, but that alone didn't mean that she was a feminist. Linking idols to social movements they haven't directly supported themselves puts them on a pedestal, and in the end, they might not live up to the standards. And truth be told, this is basically what happened to HyunA. On January 18th, HyunA updated her personal Instagram with a picture in which she can be seen walking down the beach hand in hand with Highlight's former member Jung. At first, fans speculated that the post might be a hint towards a future collaboration, but HyunA cleared those rumors pretty fast by including an emoji of a couple in the caption. The news was shocking, to say the least. Not the fact that she was dating, of course. She had gotten significant support when she revealed that she was in a relationship with Dawn in 2016, but Jung was quite a controversial figure in the industry, which sparked a heated debate online. To explain everything, we need to go back to 2019 when the police were looking into the Burning Sun case and found a chat room on KakaoTalk in which Seungri and some other big investors were arranging for inappropriate services. But the main person in charge was Jung Jun-young, who shared molka videos of women directly in the chat. SBS News reported that Jun-young and the other participants in the chat room shared non-consensual videos of women dating back in late 2015. The members of the group chat shared different clips and pictures, with Jun-young posting hidden footage of other women in the group chat for about 10 months. One of them was HyunA's boyfriend. He wasn't in the group chat, but there's proof that Jun-young sent Jun-young a video in which he's seen engaging physically with a woman. Of course, the woman wasn't aware that she was being filmed or that the video was being shared with anyone else. Not only wasn't Jun-young disturbed by it all, but he also made some very inappropriate comments about it. When the whole thing was reported, Jun-young, along with his agency, denied everything, but they couldn't hide from the truth for long. He released a statement on his own saying that he had misinformed the agency about his involvement with Jung Jun-young, which is why they took his side. The truth was that in his KakaoTalk messages with Jun-young, the two had talked after getting drunk together the night before. The next day, Jun-young asked Jun-young how he was doing, to which the latter responded by telling him that he got caught sending molka videos to someone else, and instead of calling out his friend and maybe even reporting him to the police, Jun-young replied with, "You got caught by her?" In his statement, he also said, "I did not receive a video at the time, but I did receive a video at a different instance. In addition, I participated in inappropriate conversations regarding it." He also acknowledges that his actions were immoral and that he did something wrong, but still left both Highlight and his company. Afterward, he disappeared for a while because nobody wanted to be associated with him in public. The other Highlight members act like he doesn't exist to this day. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend, the late Goo Hara, not only distanced herself from him, but had also gone as far as to reach out to the reporter who exposed the group chat on her own to show support and offer help, but more on that later. So, for an idol as beloved as HyunA to date, someone who didn't think that watching illegally taken videos of women was a big deal came as a big shock to people. We discussed before that even though HyunA didn't live up to the feminist label that was given to her, people thought that she still had the decency to not date someone like Jun-young. In general, everyone seemed disappointed. The public and the hardcore fans had already dropped people who were involved in the Burning Sun in any way, yet HyunA was associating with Jun-young publicly and even boasting about dating him, going as far as to ask fans to please look at our relationship prettily. This pissed a lot of fans off to the point that they started dropping her and condemning her actions. When the news broke about Jun-young's relationship, HyunA's biggest fan pages, both in Korea and overseas, shut down. She also lost a lot of followers, including some of her closest friends in the industry. One of them was Miss A's former member Gia, who used to be very close to HyunA prior to this. 2AM's Jo Kwon also unfollowed her, but later said they were still on good terms. It was mostly confusing why HyunA would risk her reputation and even her career just to go public with her relationship. Despite the many controversies in her career, she was still loved in the K-pop communities and by netizens and received a lot of support. Even if she wanted to be with Junghyun, she could have done so in private. After all, he was the only one benefiting from the relationship going public, which is also why he was so quick to confirm it in the first place. He has also used all the noise around the dating news to announce the release of his new album, his first release in 3 years. People thought it was suspicious that he had announced his retirement in 2019, yet he was so ready to come back after the dating news with HyunA broke out. Another icky part about their relationship is related to Goo Hara. As we mentioned, Goo Hara used to date Junghyun, with their relationship being confirmed back in June of 2011. The two split in 2013, with the agencies explaining that they couldn't keep their relationship due to their busy schedules. However, since the two had unfollowed each other on Twitter after the breakup, it was said that something more was going on that we didn't know about. Fast forward to 2019, when reporter Kang Kyung-yoon courageously reported on Jong Jun-young's chat room scandal. At the time, Hara was also dealing with a legal case regarding her ex-boyfriend, who threatened to release a private and inappropriate video of the two, which was taken when the two were together. Even with her own problems, she contacted reporter Kang Kyung-yoon to find out how she could assist in exposing the truth about the chat room scandal. She wanted to support other women who were going through similar things as her. The reporter said, "Since she was also a victim, she told me that she couldn't help but reach out to me. She showed so much motivation to actively fight with the case against Jong Jun-young." Kang Kyung-yoon said that Goo Hara played a significant role in bringing down the people involved in the chat room, which is praiseworthy. HyunA didn't have a close relationship with Hara, but they used to be friends at some point. HyunA was friends with Hara at the time that she was dating Junghyun and was aware of everything she went through and everything that Junghyun did, yet she got into a relationship with him. It basically means that not only does she not care about the victims involved, but also doesn't care about betraying the memory of Hara, which has made the news even more bitter to fans. So while Goo Hara went out of her way to help catch people like Junghyun, HyunA talks about dating him publicly. In fact, she knows that her relationship would be looked down upon, and here's how we know. She didn't tell her agency before announcing that the two were dating, and she ended up deleting the "please look at our relationship prettily" comment that got so much backlash. It's funny that her "I don't care about anything" attitude, which used to have people admiring her, is now the reason that she's despised. Since the announcement, she's been posting on social media as if nothing happened, which is yet another thing why K-pop fans are so over her. Not only that, but she has also warned legal action against people spreading false rumors against her. On April 3rd at Area, her agency claimed that HyunA had been a victim of malicious posts, false information, slander, defamation, and even inappropriate harassment. The agency said that they wouldn't tolerate this kind of behavior against their artists, which is why they were pursuing legal action against the people who were responsible. She has also announced a comeback, which wasn't welcomed by the public or even people who once enjoyed listening to her. Sure, it would be exciting to see how her career would prosper in the management of a new company, but she has lost a good chunk of her audience after associating herself publicly with Junghyun. The backlash in her comment section on Instagram hasn't stopped ever since January, but HyunA doesn't seem to care, which has made people even more curious about how her comeback will do.